The Pietermaritzburg High Court is expected to hand down a ruling in the application for leave to appeal the dismissal of former President Jacob Zuma's special plea in his corruption case. Zuma's legal team filed an application for leave to appeal last month. This after Judge Piet Koen dismissed Zuma's application for the recusal of lead prosecutor Advocate Billy Downer. For more on this story, let's now cross live to SABC News reporter Ayanda Mhlongo, who is at the Pietermaritzburg High Court. Ayanda, a very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. What can we expect this morning?
Good morning, Simpiwe, and good morning to our viewers at home. Well, in about 45 minutes at time, Simpiwe, at 10 o'clock, we expect the court proceedings to get underway. Of course, as you said in your introduction, that Judge Piet Koen will today deliver his judgment as to whether or not he will grant former President Jacob Zuma leave to appeal a special plea application that he filed, where he sought the recusal of the state prosecutor in his corruption case, Advocate Billy Downer. Of course, we know that this application was brought under Section 106(1)H of the Criminal Procedure Act, where former President was arguing that Advocate Billy Downer does not have the title to prosecute. There were 2 days of lengthy arguments during that special plea application with the defense team, of course, or rather former President Jacob Zuma's legal team arguing that they believe that if Advocate Billy Downer prosecutes this case, then former President Jacob Zuma will not get a fair trial. Of course, there are also accusations of prosecutorial misconduct. You'd know that the former president also opened a case against Advocate Billy Downer, where he accused him of leaking confidential information from his medical report to the members of the media. So today, having heard, of course, these arguments that were presented by former President Jacob Zuma's lawyers, as well as the response from the state today, the judge will then be delivering his judgment. We've heard from the NPA, and I must say that the NPA has told us, Simpiwe, that they're only going to comment after the judge has delivered the judgment this morning. But the NPA has said and argued that the timing of this case was not correct, and that in fact former president should have brought this application for Advocate Billy Downer to recuse himself at the end of the trial or in the middle of their trial. And of course saying that with all the facts or the accusations that the former president has brought through this application, that he still has a case to answer, and that pretty much would then summed up the arguments that were brought by the state. They saying that he should not in fact have made this application. So we will hear today what the judge has said. Of course, there was an indication made by Advocate Dalimpofu on behalf of former President Jacob Zuma in the previous appearance that they are likely to approach the Supreme Court of Appeal. If this application is dismissed today, his application for leave to appeal is dismissed, they still have the option to petition the Supreme Court of Appeals. They believe that another court will find or could find a rule differently to that ruling of the Pietermaritzburg High Court. But we will, of course, get and speak to them. We have not yet seen Mr. Mzwanele Manye on behalf of the Jacob Zuma Foundation. He is often here at court, and we do know that, of course, today former President Jacob Zuma is not going to be present in a court. That was communicated by the Jacob Zuma Foundation. He's just going to be sending his lawyers today to receive the judgment on his behalf. But while he is not here, Simpiwe, some of the supporters of the former president who are often here at court, the suspended spokesperson of the MVA, Mr. Carl Niehaus. He is here. We've also seen some members of the Zuma family. They are also here. And this area is the road just outside the main entrance of the court building, which has been cordoned off by the police. As always, a heavy police presence outside the court, both inside and outside the court. I've seen police's armored vehicles here. There's also the water cannon. So police are taking nothing to chance, although they weren't expecting there to be large crowds gathered outside here. Usually the crowds come out when they know that the former president is going to be present in court, and as we know, he is not going to be here. But we've seen some of his supporters, so we are expecting, or there is possibly that some people might come through just to show their support to the former president, even though he is not here. And obviously they gather at the Market Square just across from the court building. And again, this area has also been cordoned off, and the police officers there as well to ensure that if anyone does come through, that everyone who is both inside and outside of this court, that they are safe. 10 o'clock, Simpiwe, we expect the court proceedings to start. Judge Piet Koen will be delivering his judgment.
And we'll definitely cross over to you at around that time. Ayanda, thank you so much for that update.